Hey, Pop people, how we doing out there? So today is Christmas Eve. We'll see if I can get this edited and out today. If not, it'll probably be tomorrow for Christmas. So, Merry Christmas either way. And I got my best Christmas shirt on. Else I am not. All you Star Wars folks out there. Obviously, Pod Solo came from somewhere. All right, so today we're going to do another little chat and a little talk, and I'll see if I can make it all happen off the cuff. See if I can touch all my bases. So, I want to talk about organic soils. Basically, live organic soils. So, we'll see if we can touch all the bases, like I say. So, organic live soil. It's going to have all the microflora and fauna in the soil that has everything to break down the nutrition that is in that soil. So you're going to potentially have microorganisms that live within that soil, kind of like, you know, with you saltwater people, the live sand and live rock. You know, you get with that live sand, that live rock, you get microorganisms, bacterias, the microflora and fauna that make up life, you know, and it helps to cycle an enclosure. It helps to cycle in a reef tank. A reef tank helps cycle that a little faster, starting off with something that has beneficial bacteria, that has microflora and fauna in it, to jumpstart it to being ready to go. Oh yeah, I like to take a minute to introduce dude over here. I forgot about him. He's just chilling, so I totally forgot about him. So getting back to the subject, yeah, so live organic soil with composts and, you know, things of that nature is going to have microflora and fauna in it. What does that benefit you? It gives you an enclosure that already has bacterias, already has microflora and fauna to be breaking down that organic nutrition. So when you get that, it's going to have less of a possibility of mold issues. It's going to have less of a possibility of a lot of things that can be problematic. However, the possibility of having microorganisms in there that are undesirable is a possibility. So that's kind of the downside to it. But when you introduce isopods and springtails to the enclosure, it kind of has a way of equaling out or canceling out organisms that you're not necessarily looking for in your enclosure, because the food is being now distributed to another organism that is going to outcompete the undesirable organisms. So in time, it'll kind of cycle out to where, you know, your springtails and your isopods are doing the job that the microfauna was doing previously with that live soil. So basically, it's quite beneficial to have that, because it's basically like I say, it's like jump starting an enclosure to be live and active and ready to roll, with a lot less problematic issues like molds and things of that nature. So, touching base with that, now jumping towards, can I bake my soil to get rid of any undesirable organisms that might be living in the soil? Absolutely. You can absolutely bake your soil to do that. But I have found in my experience that baking the soil causes one thing, in my experience, that so when you bake the soil, you're killing off all those beneficial bacteria, you're killing off of all those microfloras and faunas that are taking care of the detritus or the nutrition that is within that soil that they're currently breaking down. You're killing off all that stuff. So basically, as soon as you add moisture to said baked soil and substrate, you're opening up that nutrition to whomever finds it first. And in my experience, whomever finds it first is mold. Mold spores are everywhere. They are everywhere. So when you have a nutrition value in that it's now moist after baking it, and you have no microflora and fauna living in that substrate, now you're opening it up to, hey everybody, it's dinner time, and the first one in line to with their dinner plate ready to roll is generally going to be mold. So you put that in your enclosure, within a few days to a week you start seeing mold issues, and then you toss in more and more springtails and you're trying to take care of it. But I love springtails and they do a lot of good for us on the mold aspect, but they don't need every mold. So it really is helpful to have those microfloras and faunas that are already taking care of that soil for you, and then you add your isopods and your springtails to the enclosure, and like I say, they kind of outcompete the undesirable microfauna in there to an extent, or at least keep it in check to where it's more of a naturalistic environment, and you have less of that issue of, you know, tossing in that baked soil and having just a huge mold outbreak. I've done it. I've seen it. It sucks. Also, there's other soils out there. You know, there's other soils out there. There's other substrates out there that can be used. However, like I say, you know, say you use a cocoa fiber mix or something like that, you're not going to be getting the nutrition that you're going to be getting in something that's organically breaking down already, because that's the stuff that the springtails and the isopods are going after. You know, that's going to be a big bulk of their diet, is eating what is breaking down in your soil. They're going to chew on your leaf litter and your cork bark and things of that nature, and they're going to eat your supplemental foods and stuff like that. But between all that stuff, what are they eating and what are they getting to first? As soon as you put isopods in that new soil that's nice and rich with nutritional organics, they're hitting that soil. They're eating up all that good stuff, you know, while it's raw and good. So, you know, doing another type of substrate like cocoa bark and stuff like that, you're not going to find that nutrition that they're looking for. So you're going to find yourself having to supplemental feed a lot more in order to get your cultures up to par to what you're wanting, you know, to either put into enclosures and have that constant flow of being able to add to, you know, because like these frogs here, they pick off some of their isopods, and so you have to replenish those isopods out of your bins, and in order to keep a quantity that you want, you have to have nutrition for them readily all the time, because they eat all the time. So if you don't have the nutrition you have in your soil readily for them at all times, they need something to eat constantly. So that means you're going to be having to supplemental feed a lot more. And then, like I say, there's some other things on the market like jungle mixes and things like that. But like I say, a lot of those things are going to have baked soils, you know, a lot of they're going to have a lot of peat mosses and things of that nature that don't really have a high nutritional value. They hold moisture, that's great. However, you know, the not being live and active like an organic, you know, mix is going to, like I say, any organic nutrition that it has, as soon as you wake it up with moisture, molds are going to set in quick, because they're the first ones to the dinner table. Always. I will tell you that, always. So that's something you're going to have to deal with at that point. So in hindsight, you know, I started a lot of bins with, you know, drier soils and things like that when I first got started. And I definitely found a huge difference when I switched to doing fully organic, like live style soil. And it's really helped me out. So that's why I started making my soil mix readily available to you guys. Those of you who have purchased it, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope your isopods are enjoying it. But yeah, so that's pretty much soil in a nutshell. I could ramble on about soil all day, but it's Christmas Eve. Anywho, So I hope that this was informational for you, and I hope that it makes sense. And we'll catch you next time, folks. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're checking out Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. Don't forget, for only $1 a month, you can be a Patreon supporter, and the tiers kind of go up from there for different care levels from us to you. And that helps us out with feeding all these crazy animals. It helps out with editing stuff. It helps out with, microphone stuff. I got a new mic down here recently. Things of that nature really helps us out, and we appreciate it. And with that said, Patreon supporters, take us out. Thanks for watching, folks. Like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.